My medication, it runs $20,000 a month without insurance. I make $800 a month. Oh, that will kill me. That would kill my friends. That would kill millions of people in this country if they lose their health care.
We're in California's District 22, a rural community in the state's Central Valley. This district voted for Trump for the first time in 2024, but now his policies threaten one of the benefits people here rely on the most. Do you know anyone personally who voted for President Trump but depends on benefits like Medicaid?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people.
One resident who would be impacted by Medicaid cuts is 64-year-old Irma Arredondo, who voted for Trump in 2024. Irma has several chronic health issues, including type 1 diabetes. She's also a full-time caregiver for her daughter, who has cerebral palsy, and her sister, who has Turner syndrome.
The medicine that my daughter takes for seizures, I won't be able to afford it. So we feel hopeless if those cuts come, What we're going to do.
Irma was a farm worker for more than a decade. She believes that some of her and her children's health issues can be linked to the pesticides she was exposed to while working in the fields.
Look at me right now. Look at me, how many sicknesses that I have. We got all in the fields. Where else? I feel like these tubby nuts in the back, But why? Why when we put food on their tables? Trump promised a lot of things. I thought it would be more family values and those programs that we really need here.
One of those promises was to protect Medicaid, which 67% of people in this district rely on. It's the largest percentage of any district in the entire country.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, we're not going to touch it.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
This bill represents the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. It will devastate vulnerable populations.
The largest tax break go to the wealthiest individuals. Are those your values?
No, that's not right.
Irma isn't the only one in District 22 who feels betrayed by the administration's plan to gut Medicaid.
The only people they're hurting are the poor people. People that really need the stuff. Elon Musk doesn't need it. Trump doesn't need it. And, billionaires don't need it.
They're making out big time with this, but they're hurting people in the process.
If we could go back to November, who would you vote for now, seeing what you see?
For either one.
You just wouldn't have voted.
Not either.
So our current president runs for presidency for a second time. Promises he won't touch Medicare and Medicaid. Lo and behold, completely flips the scripts. Everything he said he was going to do or not going to do, he did the complete opposite. This is his definition of make America great again. How about we make eggs affordable again? Maybe make homes affordable again. Make democracy strong again. Make lying wrong again. What are we doing here?
So you were telling me that people are unaware, they're unaware that the whole reason why hospitals are not allowed to turn you away in an emergency situation, regardless of your ability to pay, is because of the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, which states that hospitals who receive Medicare funding are not allowed to turn you away. And they are proposing to cut back on Medicare and Medicaid. Talk to a caseworker. There are no ineligible people who are receiving it. The only people who are receiving it are eligible because there is a vetting process. All these people that they say are illegally getting it, it's not happening. The point is to start the process to get rid of it entirely. And if we get rid of the only guaranteed payment for medical care in this country and we leave it all to our pockets with no support, guess what's going to happen to you? You are going to lose out on care because hospitals are going to close who depend on that funding. We don't have enough money to pay the bills that they decided were fair. which I'm sorry, I just had a life-saving surgery and I owe $3,000. If I don't pay $55 fucking dollars that I don't have to my primary care physician, they can decide to no longer treat me, and they will. And I've got to start all over again somewhere else. You all think that you're safe because, it's been that way because we fought to get it that way, and they're reversing it. You all have been so fucking pampered that you don't understand what we had to fight for to get you. Oh, but everyone dies. Bitch, apparently not fucking politicians.
States across the country, most of them either voted Republican in 2024 or they are currently ruled by a Republican government, are cutting Medicaid services because we need to get a jump on it because they're going to be cut next year from the one big beautiful bill. Now, that seems a little odd, right? You already know that Medicaid services are being cut at the beginning of the year when that new law goes into effect and the budget appropriations from it go into effect. So why not just let people go ahead and get what healthcare they can for the remainder of the year before you have to cut it? You're intentionally screwing them over earlier than they were already prepared to be screwed over. States like North Carolina, Iowa, or Idaho, again, both deep red states. You also have swing states like Michigan and Pennsylvania who are mulling cuts to Medicaid ahead of next year. But it's not just because they want voters to go ahead and feel the pain before the Republican legislation kicks in. No, it's because they're going to basically steal from their own Medicaid funds to make up for their budget shortfalls. In North Carolina, they're cutting Medicaid services by 3%, cutting payments to doctors, hospitals, and other care facilities by 8%. So that's going to increase at the start of the year because the federal money for Medicaid is going to shrink. So these states that are already doing these cuts or mulling these cuts are going to hit their constituents, which affect millions of people. There's millions of people in North Carolina alone on Medicaid. They're going to get hit twice. They're going to see a reduction in services starting on October 1st, and then they're going to see a reduction in services coming on January 1st. The thing about this is exactly what I told you would happen. Not necessarily with Medicaid, but with other things. Because what other things that the federal government funds, for the most part, states fund a little bit, federal government funds a lot of it. What other things are they talking about cutting out and leaving up to the states to fund? Education, disaster response, aka FEMA. And every time I have talked about those stories, what have I told you would happen? I told you that you're going to have these states out here that have budget shortfalls and they need to come up with the money from somewhere. Where are we going to get it? Oh, I know. Let's take it from education. Let's take it from FEMA. And now we don't have to wait because I've been proven correct. They've got budget shortfalls. They know the government's about to cut Medicaid, so they're cutting Medicaid now from the state portion of it. So that way when people say, oh, well, what happened? You say, no, it's the one big beautiful bill. They're doing it because they think they have cover to do it now. That they at the state level won't be blamed for what they at the federal level did. Clever. I gotta say, that's very clever. But now you're busted. And I don't care if you're a red state. I don't care if you're a blue state. These cuts to Medicaid should not be happening. You're condemning people to death, which is what happens when people don't have access to medical care because you suck at making a budget. Because you wanted to give state tax breaks to corporations. Again, some of these are states run by Democratic governors that are considering it. They haven't pulled the trigger the way Idaho and North Carolina have, but they're considering it. And I'm asking you, reconsider. Because I know some of y'all, actually both of y'all, Michigan and Pennsylvania, y'all have aspirations for higher office someday. You really think condemning poor people to death because they can't access healthcare is going to help you in that? Because I don't. In fact, I think that's automatically disqualifying. Maybe get better at creating budgets. Maybe use your money a little more wisely. Don't take it out on the lowest income people in your state. They're the ones who need the handouts, not the corporations. They're the ones who need the helping hands. They're the ones who need us. But instead, state after state, they give everything to corporations. They give everything to the wealthy elite, everything to the business owners, while condemning the lower class to a slow and painful death.
That's what happens when a corporation makes too much money. They want more and more and more. They want more tax breaks and to take away from the poor. You can never fulfill the emptiness in your heart wanting more possessions. The only way you can do that is by giving back to the community. That's how you find true happiness within. This equation here does not work, putting people in their lives at risk.
Yep. Them nursing homes finna not take Medicaid, so y'all better get them rooms ready for Meemaw and Pawpaw. Yeah, combine them kids' room Combine, get rid of the den, man cave, whatever y'all got, scoot it over, because Meemaw and Pawpaw is coming to the crib. I don't want to hear nothing. This is not what I voted for. Yes, this is absolutely what you voted for. Okay? No, I don't want to hear any of that. Meemaw and Pawpaw will be at the crib in 30 to 45 days. All right? Yeah. Yeah. That's where we are. And listen, before you get in my comments with that red, blue, left, right, I don't want to hear none of that, bro. You can put that Trump hat and that shirt on your Meemaw and Pawpaw, but they coming to the crib. You can best believe that. If your in-laws use Medicaid, a lot of these services are going to not accept Medicaid. So yeah, make room.
I work in healthcare, and we're already starting to see Medicaid cuts impact access to care. And we're specifically seeing this for OBGYN, which is particularly concerning to me as a woman who is far along in her pregnancy. We're already starting to see headlines about hospitals that are closing their labor and delivery units. And this is particularly concerning because rural areas have even more of their patients that are typically covered by Medicaid than others. So essentially, these rural hospitals are losing part of their funding, part of their revenue. And so they're either closing altogether or they're closing specific parts, specific units like labor and delivery. And in rural areas where moms already had to travel pretty far, now with areas like labor and delivery closing, they're going to have to travel even further, multiple hours away, just to see a labor and delivery unit. It's dangerous, and women and their children are going to be at risk. And this doesn't just affect patients who have Medicaid, it affects patients who have commercial insurance as well. Because if you're a rural mom who has commercial insurance, but your local labor and delivery unit closes, or maybe it's not even that local, if it closes, even with your commercial insurance, you're going to have to go much, much, much further in order to get the care that you need. And this is just the beginning. We're going to see a lot more effects on our healthcare system overall. It's just that this is kind of really the first canary in the coal mine.
It's the beginning of the end for those who are less fortunate. Drop a blue heart in a comment if you made it to the end, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time.